Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the 8th round of the Division 2 FRL Championship. We are back once again at Pirkanma Circuit and we're in for a 10-minute qualifying session followed by a 28 lap race. So qualifying is going to get underway very shortly. Meanwhile, welcome to today's stream. It's the second time we'll be visiting this track as we have visited this track previously in round 3 of this season's championship. And let's have a look at the results from the previous race. Last time we were here, the race was won by current championship leader, All That Emoji. So he is obviously looking very strong to take home the win in this particular session. We've got, I think, 12, 13, or 13 drivers here right now. Good tendency. And yeah, we've had so last time we visited Pirkanma. Let's see, RX Gamer, who unfortunately has left, is not here. Got second that race. The first time we visited Pirkanma, and then we have Critical Noob, who has since been promoted to Division 1, who got third place in that particular round. So here we are, qualifying has just started, all the cars are coming on the circuit to start their laps. I have, if some viewers who may have paid attention will notice that we are back to 60 FPS and hope that that will work out for today's stream. There shouldn't be any blue screens anymore. Last time the stream went well, so we're going to increase the quality a little bit by providing the stream in a very solid 60 FPS. Hopefully the quality of the stream will still be good overall with a higher frame rate. And yeah, meanwhile we are looking at Wolf Antonak, followed by his teammate ROBLOX behind, who have jumped in one of the RCM cars. Driving for the Red Wings team, that is. So we've got ROBLOX, who is actually a championship contender in Division 2. He is currently sitting in second place in the standings, runner-up. Provisionally, he's comfortably in second, actually, as he's got a 29-point buffer to third place, which is actually Sever, who isn't racing here anymore. So the next guy he is worried about should be Jabil, who's all the way down in 5th place with 17 points, as the guys in 3rd and 4th place in the championship are no longer participating in this division. So it looks like this particular championship is going to be in ROBLOX driving in the orange RCM against the RCM of All That Emoji driving the pink RCM. So yeah, the Red Wings team have chosen to switch to. It's kind of harder to make to distinguish between the Red Wings team and the Tempest team right now, as they both have pretty similar colours on the leaderboard. But we should be good. It's a slightly darker orange in this case, or slightly more towards the red. It's a slightly different hint. But yeah, the championship is between two drivers right now, as everyone else is effectively out of contention. We know we are watching Antonak as he is shortly going to complete his lap. We should start our red. Yes, that's AG Capadonna saying the first lap time of 1:16, and that's Moji going on top, as a lot of people are saying lap times right now. Looks like it's very close stuff between the top 3 right now. We've got All That Emoji in 1st place, and just half a tenth behind, we've got ROBLOX, his championship rival, in 2nd place, with just a few thousandths further behind. We've got AG Capadonna in 3rd place, with Jabil also, and Iswolf here also, both only 1.5 tenths behind the pole time. So top 5 within 2 tenths, very close stuff so far. Meanwhile, looking at with Remkonova, I think Remkonova, he has his pretty much his home race right now, the Finnish driver at the Finnish track. Let's see what he can do as he crosses the line. Only moves up to 11th place, so that was a little bit of a warm-up lap, I presume, or he made a mistake on his existing flying lap. We've got, speaking of flying, we've got Flying Fun Gaming running very wide out of the left-hander, and as he is trying to catch up to Papa John's up ahead. Let's see, pretty sure he's on the flying lap right now, or he is on an out lap. I'm not too sure about that. He was on an in lap actually, as he is now coming into the pits to put on a new set of tyres and rejoin the track to have another go in this qualifying session. The clock is ticking down in this qualifying session. We've got 5 minutes remaining, 6 minutes if you round it up. Meanwhile, we're watching a pair of cars. We're watching XR Titan and Antonak in the middle. Let's see what those guys are going to be doing. Currently sitting in 8th place. Antonak is 6/10 of the current provisional pole time. So it's an alright gap. Pretty close in this session, being in 8th place and 6/10 down. Meaning that the average gap between the position is under a 10th, which is pretty dang close. But meanwhile, Antonak, he has been catching up to XR over the course of this lap, but he does not improve. I don't think anyone is at this current point in time. We are still watching Antonak as maybe he now actually started his flying lap. It looks like it. Otherwise, they would have probably retired to the pits if they had just completed their flying lap. So now, right now, we're watching Antonak on his flying lap. He's right behind XR Titan up ahead, who is on a qualifying lap of his own. XR has some time to gain, however, since he's all the way down in 11th place. 2.2 tenths off the pace. Let's see if they're looking pretty much even. I think Antonak has a slight edge over XR over the course of this lap as he is closing that gap. Running a little bit wide, though. Let's see, are they going to keep it within limits? Antonak is, XR running a little bit wide. Looks like Antonak is on a slightly better lap than XR, but it's only going to be, I reckon, a 2-3 tenths difference. As they are now in the final second, Jabil not too far behind either. I think he has been catching up to the pair we are watching right now. So we see Anton and XR taking very different lines. Anton getting a very good run out of the final corner. Running up to the line. Is he going to improve his lap time? Yes, he is. Oh, very close stuff. And Jabil now goes fastest with a 1:16.1. Never mind that. Rhythms is now in pole with a 1:15.9. So Rhythms and Jabil improving significantly there. As I was about to say, Antonak also getting very close to the pole time. Never mind that, as Rhythms improved quite significantly just there. But yeah, looking at the gap from P3 to P6, there's only 1/10 separating 4 drivers right now, which is great to see. Let's have a look at all that emoji. Let's see if he is currently on a lap, on a flying lap. He had a little bit of a weird line there. He was on the inside, coming down the straight, which isn't a normal racing line, I would say. Looking good so far on his flying lap. Keeping it on the track, just within track limits, beautiful. Using all the space to his disposal, slightly running over the white lines, but that's what the game allows you to do. You can run slightly over the white lines without getting any sort of penalty from the game, and that's exactly what Emoji is doing right now. So coming around the final corner, is he going to improve his lap time, or was this his out lap? Sure, it's really hard to tell. Anyway, well, it was certainly not an out lap since he's just gone fastest with a 1:15.7, topping his teammate by 2 tenths. Let's have a look at ball with XR Titan now. 2 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Got XR in 10th place. Let's see, he has some clean air right now. I'm not sure if he's on the out lap or not. Let's watch someone else. There's a car going off of Chirpy Bird F1, who is in 9th place right now. So we've got Wolf in 6th place right now. Keeping it on the island right now. He actually said he wants to move down to Division 3. We've been discussing about that because he has been struggling to score points in the last few rounds. But right now he's actually doing pretty good in 6th place so far. 6 tenths off Mochi's time. Course, but still a very respectable 6th place from Wolf right now. Let's see if he's going to improve his lap time as he runs up to the line. No, he isn't. I think he now has actually started his flying lap. So let's stick on board. Maybe a little bit of lag there. The onboard's very laggy right now. I'm not sure if he's experiencing any lag on his end. Not sure about that. You know, he's running quite wide after chicane. That costs him half a tenth, I reckon. While missing the apex a little bit, going through the hairpin. down the straight, little bit downhill section, a little briefing moment for the driver. Of course, you have to keep it on the track, otherwise it doesn't help you if you go off the track and the game slows you down for it. Going through a near flat out section, just have to briefly lift to get the car rotated properly to not slide wide. That's an apex miss from Wolf, but he keeps it on the track in the final sector. Ooh, runs a little bit wide through the left-hander. A few corners to go. Keeps it on the track so far. Very good lap from Wolf so far. Is he going to improve? He's currently 6/10 down on the provisional pole sitter. Just one corner to go. And running up to the line now. Is he going to improve his lap time? He may as well improve his lap time. It wasn't a flawless lap, but let's see. No, he does not improve. Meanwhile, looking for up and down the order. Let's see who else may be on a fast lap. Jabil isn't, since he has just retired to the pits. Now we have Antonak sitting in 4th place. Running wide as well, that's his lap over, that's him finished. It's checkered flag in this session right now. Let's have a look at Rhythm, see if he's going to challenge Mochi for pole position. Mochi is finished, he's in provisional pole right now, but let's wait and see what Rhythm's going to do. Looking pretty tight through the final sector. Running up to the line now, what is Rhythm's going to do? He does not improve, so Mochi, it looks like Astro moves up at 1 position, tops his teammates to 4th place. Meanwhile, once again, Wolf, I think he's on the 2nd flying lap now, I'm pretty sure. He's still going, as is Mochi. There's also an orange car still on the flying lap, that would be Remo Kanava. Currently in last place right now, actually. Let's see if he's going to improve his lap time and get off away from that last position. He runs up to the line now. No, he stays the last, unfortunately for him. Let's see what H. Capadon is going to do. He does not improve. Wolf comes into the pits. Code Bacon's is finished. Must have made a mistake during his lap. Now we're waiting for the 2 Blue Spirit cars to cross the line. Blue Spirit, is that the right team name? Verde Racing, my bad. So XR doesn't improve. Does Flying Fun Gaming improve by any chance? For the Verde Racing team, he doesn't either. So that's all that's qualifying, and that is all at the Mochi once again on pole position for this Division 2 race. So that is qualifying done and dusted, and now straight on we move on to the race. It is the clock is counting down now, and now the light should start to turn on. Everyone has made it to the grid, fortunately. It's 5 flights. And it's lights out, and away we go. Mochi isn't moving. What's going on with Mochi? Oh, he's handicapping himself, is he really? Oh, wow. That's interesting. That should spice things up surely. Let's have a look at the pink dots on the minimap. Meanwhile, looking at the front, we've got Jabil provisionally leading, fighting with the Hartman Colt car of Rhythms. Mochi's still not moving, actually. He's trying to have some fun, clearly. Now he's starting to move by the looks of it. Yes, the pink dot is moving right now. So Mochi is sandbagging. Very interesting to see. Meanwhile, we have Jabil, Antonak, and a couple of other guys fighting for lead right now. Those for the first couple of laps, very close as always. People only start to drop back when they start to make mistakes. If they don't make mistakes and keep it clean, they should be fighting for a lead for the next couple of laps. It's very close stuff still at the front. We've got Jabil. Now firmly in the lead. Well, I say firmly, it's still very close between him and Antonak and Rhythms. Just a little bit behind. ROBLOX falling back a little bit. Still, we've got Jabil barely in the lead. But yeah, how about Mochi? He is 25 seconds down the order. Wonder where he's going to end up by the end of this race. Not sure with what kind of margin he won at this track last summer, but that's really he's really making it difficult for himself. I think that's pretty interesting because he doesn't have that comfortable of a lead. He has shown to be the fastest driver in this division overall, but He only has a 13-second lead over, 13 seconds points leads to ROBLOX, who is currently in second place. That's not a comfortable margin, necessarily. So, I mean, if I would wrapped up the championship, I would go for this, because you never know, you could disconnect a race or something. I hope I haven't cursed Mochi by this, that he's going to disconnect or DNS from another race. I hope that's not the case, but that's just... yeah, that's very interesting, Mochi. We see him on the minimap going down the straight right now, very lonely. Meanwhile, we're focusing on the back of the front. We will slowly keep an eye on the progression of Mochi, who has closed in on the leaders a little bit. The gap is now 24 seconds rather than 25 seconds, so he is slowly gaining, but it's going to take a couple of laps. Well, I say a couple. It's going to take him the entire race to get close to the front again. So, yeah, Astro makes a mistake right there, and that allows Rhythms to pull away in first place. And Astro now is under pressure from his teammate Antonak just behind with Jabil and Exile Titan. Is that another mistake from Astro? Yes, it is, as his teammate goes through with Jabil just a little bit further behind. Astro, is he going to recover? Is he going to be able to challenge his teammate again? Let's have a look at the train behind. Very close stuff between Jabil, Wolf and Exiled. Still very much a train down his back straight. Everyone except Mochi being on that back straight right there. Still watching this very close battle between Astro and Exiled. Astro runs a little bit wide. Jabil gets a good run. Through there, Jabil now slightly pulls ahead. Never mind, he gets a pretty poor run through the left-hander. It's a pretty tough corner to get right. It looks like it's a deceiving corner, I would say, from my own experience. It is a pretty deceiving corner. It's easy to get go wide or yeah, miss the apex or anything like that, because yeah, pretty much all the corners, most corners are almost flat, and then there's suddenly one corner that you sort of have to brake for. It is a little bit different. Anyway, oh, Chirpy is experiencing a bug according to him. Not sure what happened to him, but he's now in last place. Mochi is in 12th. So I have no idea what happened to Chirpy. If anyone in the chat happened to have paid attention to what happened to Chirpy, I'll be interested to know. Because I can't imagine the only thing I could imagine that would have put him in a worse position would be to have hit a wall somewhere. But that's, yeah, you have to go quite far off the track in order to achieve that. So I have no idea what happened to Chirpy right there. Meanwhile, we're watching Antonak in second place still, followed by a pack of angry cars behind him. He's got his teammate Jabil and Excel Titan to worry about for the time being. Wolf falling back a little bit, falling under pressure from AG Capadonna. And meanwhile, Rhythm seems to have established a margin of 2.5 seconds to second place right now, so he is looking very strong to get a good result from this race to potentially take home the win. Looking behind, we've got Antonak and Astro still fighting for second place. Very close between the two, Antonak and Astro. Astro trying to find a way past his teammate. He's very close. He is probably ahead on his screen right now. At least it's very close. Now he certainly is. He's also ahead on our screen, so very close between the two right now. Now Anton has shot back ahead of Astro. See this is going. It looks like the two Red Wings cars are slightly pulling away from the cars behind. It's a little bit weird. I'm used to seeing this team in the red Halo car, the FRC 20H car, but so it's a little bit for me getting used to them seeing not driving a bright red car. They're now driving an orange-white car. Following some other teams, following the RCM trend, despite the RCM being nerfed, because for those not aware, the RCM was actually the fastest equal car before this. Now that's no longer the case, yet some people have decided to switch to the RCM car for the final couple of rounds of the season. Let's see We've actually got quite a fair amount of RCM cars on the grid now. We've got the Hartman Colt cars of Rhythms and all that emoji in the pink cars. A little further behind, we've got Anton and Astro driving the RCM cars. Jabil's in the Cross. Exiled is in the Halo car. Then we've got Wolf in the default car, in the Cyan default car. Then we've got another RCM team of AG Capadonna and Chirpy Bird. And then we've got Tempest car. So we have 3 teams, if I'm correct, right now, who are rocking the RCM1. And other cars, running a variety of other cars. So good to see that different cars are being used on track. It's great to see a great car diversity on track right now. All in distinct colors, except arguably for the orange cars. Yes, Mochi, thank you. You should... He doesn't know when to stop. He is not closing the gap that much anymore, so it's going to be really difficult for him to win the race. But it's not going to help if he keeps chatting during driving. There's a reason why you shouldn't text and drive, because you're going to make mistakes from that. You're not going to be concentrated, and you're not going to be concentrated as much if you keep chatting in the chat. But of course, it's his choice to keep chatting in the chat. But yeah, we've still got Rhythms and a healthy lead. Gap pretty much stays the same. And meanwhile, Jabil has moved up into 3rd place. Astro must have made another mistake, and now he's down in 4th place, being chased down by a trio of Exile Titan, Wolf Isir, and AG Capadonna. Let's have a look on board. There's a little bit of lag going on. Let's try to spectate someone that isn't that laggy. Don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately, as Capadonna gets past Wolf for 6th place. Wolf running very wide out of the final corner. That allows AG Capadonna to get firmly past him now. Well, Mochi has gained a lot in the last lap. He has gained a couple of seconds again now, and now he's right behind Papa John's, actually about to overtake Papa John's. No, never mind, that's a mistake. That's not going to help. Now he has to deal with some traffic, with a little bit of dirt here and there. Papa John's lagging a lot. His car is frozen right now. Let's hope that's not going to lead to a No, that's a disconnect from Papa John's, unfortunately. So that's our first DNF for today. That's unfortunately Papa John's. What seems like a disconnect from him. His car being frozen for a moment and then him switching off. Unfortunate for him. Meanwhile, Mochi now he has a 1 less car to deal with, running very wide out of the left-hander. And now starting to chase down Remo Canava for 10th place. Meanwhile, what has happened at the front? Is that... There are a few cars in pits, right? No. I thought I saw someone in pits. What happened to Rhythms? Did Rhythms just make a mistake? Because all out of nowhere, Anton is now in 1st place, and Rhythms is right behind him. So, Antonak, let's talk about him for a moment. He is putting on a very good show right now. He has been pretty quiet overall this season. He has only got 1 podium to his name, but now he is leading a race, and not because people have pitted. No, he is leading on merit right now. I think that would be, leading a race for the first time, really, for Anton. So if he could win home, even a 2nd place would be an amazing result for him. It would be his best result of the season. But he, of course, he's going to have to deal with Rhythms, who is very quick in his own right. But Anton putting on a good performance so far and challenging Rhythms for the win right now. Meanwhile, let's have a talk about strategy right now. So last time, I think two-stop was the popular strategy around here. I think there were a few people who tried a one-stop. But I think we're going to most likely see a lot of two-stops today, just like last time out. And the two-stop would mean that people would have to pit about after 10 laps into this race. I don't think anyone has actually made a pit stop yet in this race. I don't see anyone significantly behind, or anyone that looks like he has made a pit stop. Mochi is up into 9th place right now. He has gone past. No, never mind. Astro has been into the pits. My bad. That's Astro who has pitted, and he's now behind Mochi on track. But of course, he has one pit stop to his name and is on fresher tires right now, so he should be able to catch up to his championship rival, no problem. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised to have only seen one car into the pit so far. It looks like there's another car into the pit. That's Chirpy Bird making his first stop, also seemingly committing to a two-stop in this race. But yeah, no one else is pitting right now. Let's have a look at the battle for the lead. Is any of those guys going to come into the pits? No, they're carrying on. So it looks like both of them. A little bit different, surprisingly. Jabil's coming in. So is AG Capadonna. Both coming in for their first out of 2 stops, and there's one car. That is that an empty car? Okay, that's interesting. That is an empty car in the pits right now. Interesting. But yeah, we see more people into the pits with that Jabil and AG Capadonna. They were both close on track. They still are after their pit stop. Looks like Jabil has pulled a very small gap. There's also Wolf, who has made his first pit stop, also committing to a 2-stop in this race. But looks like a lot of guys are trying a 1-stop today, which is interesting to see. Meanwhile, we've still got a battle going on for the lead here between Antonak and Rhythms. They are both 11 laps into this race. Let's see if they are going to make a pit stop now. Still trying to opt for a 2-stop. Doesn't look like it. They are surely going to be on a 1-stop for this race. What's Exile Titan going to do? Also carrying on. So those guys are really looking to be on a 1-stop right now. It's got Bacon's also on a 1-stop right now. And then we've got Mochi's also yet to pit, and then we've got Astro and Flying, who have both already pitted, I believe. Yes, Astro certainly has, not 100% sure about Flying. He probably has pitted as well. And now both having to deal with Mochi being on the 1-stop. Meanwhile, looks like it's still very close at the top right now. Still Rhythms and Antonak battling it out for the win, for the lead of this race so far. Of course, have to keep an eye on Mochi, but looking at the progress Mochi's made so far, of course it is an impressive progress, but I don't think it's enough to get a win. But what margin did he win last round? If he didn't sandbag in that round anyway, that is. Last time we were at Big Hammer, I should say. So we were last time at Pekenma at round 3, so like 2 to 3 months ago. And looking up the results right now, it looks like Mochi then won the race, but he only won by 2 seconds from RX Gamer, who isn't driving here anymore. Neither is Critical Noob, who got 3rd place that time around. ROBLOX, the first guy who's also who is still racing right here, the next car, got 4th place in that round, only 6 seconds down from Mochi, so that's still pretty close, I reckon. So yeah, based on that, I don't think Mochi is going to be battling for the win. Meanwhile, he has made his first pit stop in this race, I'm pretty sure. Probably converting to a two stop because that's an only that's an only time to pit if you are planning on doing a one stop. So looks like Mochi is switching to a two stop here. Meanwhile, Rhythms has managed to get a small break away from Anton at this point in time. Anton not pitting, running a bit wide through the penultimate corner, still carrying on. Exalt is jumping in pits one lap early to end his first pit stop. So it's Code Bacons. He's also into the pits right now. ROBLOX behind, who has already pitted, is carrying on. But yeah, we're now watching, not sure if there are any other bouts going on. There may be a battle going on in the pits right now between Exile Titan and It's Code Bacons. We see It's Wolf's here and Flying Fun Gaming drive past just about, though. But they are on the two stop, so right now the advantage is for Exalt and It's Code Bacons, who are right behind Wolf and Flying, but they are on a one stop, so it's going to be very close between the four of those guys. Meanwhile, looking towards the front again, we've got Ribbons with a 1 second lead of Anton. Anton trying to keep up here. It's going to be difficult. We are expecting Ribbons and Anton to both dive into the pits this lap. Ribbons is. Anton running a little bit wide. That's not a very pretty. Pit entry right there. So that's going to cost Anton time. Once again, we see the ghost car of Ribbons right there in the pits. Ribbons has made his pits up. Anton has reached the pits box as well and starts going as well. I have a feeling Anton got a slightly better pit stop, and now we see ROBLOX taking over the lead in his race, but he is on the two stop. He has pitted very early. He has been on new tires for a couple of laps now, so he has taken over the lead, and also Jabil and AG Capadonna have jumped Rivers and Antonak, who find themselves 6 and 8 seconds away from the lead, respectively. Meanwhile, we see Rhythms and AG Capadonna close on track right now. Rhythms being on fresh tires, he has just come out of the pits. He is on a one stop, and AG Capadonna seems to be on a two stop, so Rhythms is now past AG Capadonna, so he doesn't have to worry about him anymore. Yeah, Anton has lost some time coming into the pit. He had a very messy pit entry, so now he finds himself may have made another mistake actually, because I thought the gap was 2 seconds just a little bit earlier, but now it's 4 seconds by the looks of it. So Anton has really slipped away from the virtual lead of this race right now. Meanwhile, we've got a battle between teammates going on between Wolf and Bacon, the two Acura Racing GP drivers in the cyan, teal, what colour is that exactly? The cyan default cars. Got those two battling it out for 7th place right now, which I think, yeah, that should be about right. That should be also the virtual. That should be the position they are also fighting for towards the end of the race. Although there's Mochi a little bit further behind, who has also made one pit stop so far in this race. Got those two drivers battling it out for 7th place right now, overtaking each other, the teammates, battle between teammates right now. Both been doing respectively in this championship so far. We have got Wolf, who has throwing some points together, and It's Code Bacons. Actually, he has only scored 1 point so far this season, sitting in 22nd in the championship. He's only joined after his first race was round 4, so we'll give him that. And Wolf has been here since the start of the season. He's on 7 points right now in the championship. And meanwhile, Wolf has fallen back from his teammate a little bit and will soon be under pressure from Mochi, who's just behind, looking to get into the points for the first time this race since the start of the race. Of course, he has been, if you're just tuning in to this stream and seeing Mochi, who has previously been dominating the races all the way down in 9th place, then you would be thinking, what happened? Well, he backed at the start, so he stood stationary for 25 seconds after the lights went out, and then he started going just to spice things up. Wolf is losing time again. Going through the final couple of corners. Mochi running very wide. That's not what you want to do around this track. You can't run wide there anymore. There's more strict corner going trigger. If you run too wide out of that corner, that will punish you to death. Meanwhile, we've got Astro and Jabil both in the pits right now to make their second and final pit stops of this race. Let's see where they are going to end up on track. There's a lot of one-stoppers now ahead of them. They should be on fresher tires though, so they are now looking at overtaking a couple of cars ahead of him. Let's see what the cars ahead, what strategies the cars ahead. When the cars ahead have pitted, or some of them are on 2-stop but are yet to make their second pit stop. Anyway, these guys, Astro and Jabil, they are going to the end of this race right now, and it's now a matter of time to see where they will end up when the checker flag falls after the 28th lap of this race. And you will see Astro blocks closing the gap to Wolf up ahead. Once again, for the people who have just tuned in into the stream and see Mochi all the way down the order, he has sandbagged at the start. He has backed. He waited for after lights went out. He waited for 25 seconds before he got going to spice things up, I guess. That's why he is not leading the race right now. Meanwhile, we're watching ROBLOX about to overtake a Wolf. Astro, of course, needs to score as many points as he can while Mochi is sandbagging, because Astro is still very much a championship contender, especially with Mochi not winning the race right now. Astro could form a serious threat if Mochi isn't careful, and if Astro can maximize this final stint. So now he's up to 7th place. I reckon he will be able to catch up to Bacons and also to Mochi, who has made an early first pit stop around after 11 laps, I would want to say. So 11-12 laps, Mochi made his first stop, and Bacons has just pitted a few laps ago. Astro is. So he should be in much newer tyres and should be able to catch up to at least 4th place in this race. Now we see AG Capadonna and just AG Capadonna into the pits to make his second pit stop of this race. Let's see where he's going to end up on track. He's going to end up probably around 9th place, I reckon. He's going to get past, but yet there goes Jabil already. It's AG slightly missed pit box, not too sure what he gets going again, and he's going to rejoin all the way in 9th place, quite far away from Jabil in 8th place right now. So he's got some work to do to score if he wants to score some points today. And meanwhile, let's focus on Astro again, who is now charging through the field. Jabil hasn't quite been able to keep up with Astro in this race. He's 4 seconds behind. He is about to overtake Wolf, who is on a different strategy. Meanwhile, Astro has set his eyes on Wolf's teammate. It's Kurt Bacons for 5th place. And it's only going to be a matter of time before Astro gets past him. Now Astro is up into 5th place. He's now chasing down Exile in 4th place. Meanwhile, let's keep an eye on the gap between him and Mochi. It's currently 5 seconds right now. Mochi is on a compromised strategy, but for now he is ahead. I am expecting Astro to be able to catch up to Mochi actually in this case, because Mochi is on quite old tires at this point. He's on nearly 10 lap old tires, while Astro is on 3 or 4 laps old tires, so there's a 6 lap difference between the two cars. That's quite a difference, especially once the tires start to degrade. They're going to degrade more and more if you're on all the tires, and that's really going to cost you towards the end of the race. And we can already see that a little bit with Mochi losing a little bit of time compared to Astro. Meanwhile, we've got Rivens and Anton one stopping this race. They are comfortably in first and second for now, but again, we have to keep an eye out on Astro, who is the leading car of the two stoppers. Running a bit wide, he is about to overtake Exiled for 4th place. So what's Chirpy about to do? Okay, Chirpy's out of the race. He's second retirement for today. Meanwhile, Astro is quite rapidly catching up to Mochi for 2nd place right now. He is also catching up to the leader of this race, Rivens, right now, and his teammate. So I think Rivens is too far away from Astro in order for Astro to be able to challenge for the win, but I think he is within striking range of his teammate Antonak, who is also on a 1-stop. So split strategy for the Red Wings guys, and I say it's working out quite well for both drivers, as they are looking very likely to get a double podium out of it. Of course, does require Astro to find a way past Mochi, who right now is still about 2 seconds up the road. Meanwhile, I think there is a little battle going on a little bit further back. No, not really. Is there one for 9th place going on? Also a little bit of a gap. Was the Wolf just making a mistake there? I think it was. And that allows Flying Fun Gaming to close the gap and now put Wolf under pressure for 9th place in this race. Flying Fun closing in on Wolf right now. Let's see if he can find a way past. He is in the dirty air now. He has to deal with the dirty air at the moment, so it's not going to be straightforward as he's running wide, coming out of the hairpin. That's going to cost him quite a bit. Meanwhile, Mochi is also closing in on the leaders right now, but I don't think it's going to be enough to challenge them. Antonak has also been closing the gap to Rivens quite a bit actually. The gap was about 3.5 seconds, now it's down to 2.3 seconds, so it could get really interesting towards the end of the race. So Antonak is showing good pace on his old tyres, at least compared to Rivens. Mochi also showing good pace, but we know he's quick. So yeah, it's going to be, between all the top 4 guys, it's going to be pretty interesting to see who's going to end up where, because Rivens seems to be losing a little bit of pace, since Anton is really catching up now. 2.1 seconds is the gap now. I was talking earlier how Astro could catch up to Anton. It is now looking less likely, I think. It's still possible. A few mistakes could do the trick for Astro. He's still trying to catch up to Mochi, but that doesn't seem to happen just yet. So Mochi is going to he's going to have to fight really hard if he wants to stay on the podium at this point into the race. He's on all the sides of everyone. Rivers and Antonak pitted around at the end of lap 14, I would say. 13, 14. So they are on the 1-stop. Mochi pitted around lap 11, lap 12. So he's on the oldest tires of all. He's his tires are going to be screaming right now. And Astro pitted after 18 laps. He's on 7 lap all tires right now, so he's on the freshest tires of the bunch, so he's going to have the advantage over all the other drivers. But right now we see Astro slowly but surely closing the gap to Mochi. Just has to keep it clean and not make any mistake, because Mochi, he is not making it easy. Mochi keeping it clean as well, keeping his car on track for now. Still very close. Meanwhile, we see an overtake, an exchange of position for 5th place. Where has this battle come from? So all out of nowhere, we have a battle for 5th place going on between Code Bacon's, Exiled, and Jabil. Look at these 3 cars. They are pretty much inside of each other, inseparable right now, and it is Code Bacon who gets the best run out of the 3 cars. That allows him to go through. Jabil running a bit wide, losing a bit of speed in the process. And Astro has now passed Mochi for 3rd place, and now he has to set his eyes on his teammate up ahead, who is also in his turn chasing down Rhythms for the win. Only 1.1 seconds, back up to 1.6 seconds as I saw Rhythms reaving right there to break the slipstream, but that's not going to help do much favors either. That's Rhythms running wide, I think. It's going to be very close in the closing stage of this race. Mochi trying to keep up with Astro. Maybe he can gain another position if the 2 cars ahead make some extra mistakes. Meanwhile, we've got Jabil and Extra Titan fighting for 6th place right now. But It's Go Bacon does seem to have a breakaway right now. He seems to have the 5th place in the back. Meanwhile, it's going to be a battle for 6th place between Jabil and Extra Titan. Jabil running very wide, Exile doesn't run wide, and that allows Exile to take over 6th place right now. Jabil tucking back in the slipstream, hoping to gain some time again. Meanwhile, looking at the gap in front, Anton is within the second of Rhythms now, and Astro is only 3 seconds behind the leader and 2 seconds behind his teammate. This is going to get really spicy, I think, on the final lap. If Anton and Astro keep up their charge towards 1st place. So this race is far from over, 2 laps to go, and I think Rhythms is about to start the penultimate lap of this race. Looking on the mini-map, we've got 1 pink dot followed very closely by 2 very angry orange, dark orange dots, with Anton and Astro not too far behind, with just 2 laps to go in this race. Meanwhile, we've got Jabil, who has been able to catch back up to Bacon. So Bacon's just made a mistake. Meanwhile, let's have a look towards the front. That's Anton who's made a mistake, and that allows Astro to sniff an opportunity here. So Astro potentially looking to get past his teammate. He is, I think, ahead of his screen now. Now it's a question of him nailing the next couple of corners, and maybe he can now charge for the win right now. But Astro has to do really well. I think Rhythms has got another lead right now. Not so sure. Astro first has to clear his teammate. I'm pretty sure Antonak is not going to make it easy. He also wants that 2nd place. That's Anton. I think there's a corner cut from Anton right now, and that allows Astro through 3.2 seconds. I think that's a little bit too much of a gap for him to close down going on the final lap. So I think Rhythms has got in the back, but of course, there's 1 lap to go. Astro is on fresher tyres, remember that. And it could still be very close on the final lap if Rhythms doesn't hold it together. But Astro definitely lost some time being having to deal with his teammates right there. And yeah. So I think that battle is overall pretty much over. Anton only needs to be careful not to fall in the clutches of Moji, who is only 2 seconds behind at this point. But looking behind, we've got Jabil, who's in 5th place now. Bacon's is in 6th place, and Exile just a little bit further behind in 7th place. They've also started their final lap of the race. Exile running wide again. It's going to be very close between 2 guys. It looks like Jabil is going to take home 5th place in this race. Meanwhile, looking at the gap towards the front, it is coming down, but they are in the final sector right now. Let's have a look at those guys right now. It is 2 seconds. I think it's game over for ROBLOX. So a very nice attempt to do a 2-stop here, proving to be very close between him and Rhythms in the closing stage of the race. One stop and two stop proving to be very close to each other. But in the end, it just wasn't enough for Astro to take home the win. And it looks like Rhythms is going to take home the win in this race. To take home his, what I think it will be his first win of the season in this championship. So it is Rhythms who wins his first race of the season in first place, doing a one-stop. It's Astro who, with the two-stop, just wasn't able to close the gap enough. It is his teammate to take home a third place. Mochi comes home in fourth place after being 25 seconds down at the start, and we see an exchange of position between AG Capadonna and Exalt, who has really fallen down the order on the final corner. Capadonna managed to get past Exalt, and Exalt is just going to walk away with only 1 point. He was in 6th place right now, contending for 5th place, so Exalt really struggling in the end of the race. Meanwhile, we've got another battle going on as Wolf finishes 9th in this race. We've got Flying Fun Gaming and Roman Canova fighting for the wood and spoon, basically, to not finish last in this race, effectively, barring the two DNFs we've had during this race. But it looks like Flying Fun Gaming is going to be able to hang on to that 10th place with Roman Canova just a little bit further behind. Roman Canova needs to nail those final couple of corners to have a shot to get past Flying Fun Gaming. Going towards the line, Flying Fun Gaming needs to nail the final couple of corners. He runs a little bit wide though, that's a very deep entry. And what does he do? What was that? And Roman Canova, what are they doing? Oh. Okay. Okay. I did not see that coming. A very close battle suddenly turned up into a circus. Not sure what happened there. They are now doing a reverse drag race as they come across the line. Flying Fun now getting past Rem Canova, running up to the line, doing a drag race right now in reverse, but Rem Canova seems to have a net. He seems to get back at Flying Fun Gaming in reverse. Seems to have a little bit more talk going on. It's very close between the two guys. Who is going to cross the line first to take the wooden spoon? There is a reverse drag race. Flying Fun hits the wall, so it's going to be very close, but Flying Fun Gaming brings the car home in 10th place with Rem Canova in 11th place. Great finish from those two guys, and that's it for the results. It's Rhythms who takes home his first win, with ROBLOX closing the championship gap to Mochi ever so slightly. I am going to be updating the spreadsheet and everything right now. Anyway, that was a very interesting ending to the race. What about that? Anyway, that was it for this race. A very entertaining race. It got very close in the end for the win. But it is Rhythms who came out on top in this race to claim his first win of the season in this championship. Thank you everyone for watching today's race. We'll see you hopefully next time for... the streaming schedule is a little bit unclear for the rest of this weekend. We'll have to see how that will go. But if there's going to be another stream, there will be an announcement on Discord. There will be a link to the stream on Discord, and you can also keep an eye on this channel for next stream that will be happening. There's going to be more racing this weekend. Whether they will be streamed is unclear for now. Anyway, thank you for watching today's race. We'll be looking forward to the next couple of races this weekend, with the American Cup happening tonight, and with the Asian Cup Division 1 race and the European Cup happening tomorrow. Thank you again for watching. Have a nice morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world and whenever you are watching this stream. Have a nice